Hello, folks, and welcome to our new Cool Kids live stream review. Today, we are here to talk about a sequel to a film that came out a couple years ago, based on the popular video game franchise Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought we were talking about Zootopia 2.
No, we did that last week.
You did?
Yep.
I was on vacation. I didn't know.
You're subscribed to the channel, aren't you?
Let's just say I had one too many mojitos.
Well,
Shame,
shame.
That's your name.
Well, since you didn't do your homework, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do this. Okay. Anyway.
We love you, Devin.
Yeah, we love you, Devin. So anyway, we are here to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So you all know how this works. You know the drill. You've seen this ballet so many times. So without further ado, let's go and get started. Let's start off by talking about knowledge on the games, the lore, the thoughts on the first film, and expectations. I decided to group all these together because I figured they're so quick and I want everyone to see where we stand. So, in terms of Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm kind of like what you would call like a medium kind of expert, if that makes sense, on Five Nights at Freddy's. I have played the first and the second one. I was able to beat the first five nights for the first one, and the sixth one is where I kept screwing up on. And I played the second, and I played Sister Location. I think I got up to like maybe the third nights for those. I can't remember. So, but anyway, I played a little bit with some friends. You know, we had a good time. But honestly, I'm pretty much considered a noob compared to my stepson Kane. You know, he is the biggest Five Nights at Freddy's fan I know. He's the one that's more knowledgeable about the lore. You know, he's played the games. He's better at. I've watched him play not Sister Location, Security Breach so many times. Now, in terms of my thoughts on the first film, I thought the first one was, I mean, it was just kind of It's kind of meh. I took Kane to see it, assuming his grades would pick up, and they did. He really liked it, so I had no regrets to take him to see it in theaters. I do, and it's just, I guess for me, it's just that it was more focusing too much on like the dream sequences a little too much, you know, and I just felt like some of the writing didn't really work all that well. It's not necessarily the worst thing ever, but it's just kind of meh. So for my expectations, I was kind of like, I guess kind of open to it. I was going to see this either way because Kane, like I said, Kane loves the first one, so I had to take him to see the second one. So, but I was still willing to give it a chance. Who knows? Maybe they might maybe they listen to the criticism from the first film, and maybe they would be able to improve. So, I'm filibustering, I know, so I'll let everyone else take over. So, floor's yours.
So for me, in terms of the games, I know a little bit. I think I played the first one. I don't think I ever got to like night 4 or night 5. Got through it at least. And then I watched a lot of lore videos back when like those were really popular. Even though Scott Cawthon has not confirmed any of the lore, we only know a little bit, but you know, it's we just know what's in the games and all that stuff. So, you know, I think no, I don't fake cancer, so I'm not another boogie, so you don't have to worry about that. But I think I think they're like good games. They're not really for me. They're kind of more based on like jump scares and shit like that, and that's kind of not really my thing. But you know, they're fine games. They're just kind of not for me. I think the lore is kind of interesting. So and I know like a little bit. I think I know until like maybe like the fourth game, but that was like fucking 20 years ago at this point. So, you know, I think the first film was perfectly serviceable. I think it had a lot going for it, but it dropped the ball in a lot of areas. However, I know a lot of fans of the games liked them, like bigger fans than I, so that's something. But honestly, the best part about it was the animatronics. They looked amazing. I mean, they were by the Jim Henson Company, so of course they look amazing. Some of the acting was okay, some of the scares were okay, but for the most part, it was just kind of it was good, but nothing great. So expectations for this, I didn't really have a ton. I pretty much had less than zero. It also didn't help that the trailer was very dumb. Like you really couldn't think of a better tagline than "Evil has left the building." Like, come on, guys. What did the intern for the day come up with that after all the veterans couldn't think of something? Like, come on, man. Um, but I had no expectation. I was honestly back and forth on whether or not I wanted to see it, but I wasn't sure how many people would be in the review. So I'm like, fuck it. I got nothing else better to do today. So I'll fucking spend 8 hours watching a shitty movie because that's how long it fucking took to get through the damn movie. But we'll get there when we get there. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of what I know about the lore, my thoughts on the first film, and the expectations. So, Zachy boy, it is now up to you.
Well, I find myself in an interesting place with the FNAF fandom because I don't know jack shit. You'll probably remember I stated that in our review for the first one. Like I know the general basic stuff. There's these animatronics possessed by dead children. I get the setup of the game. I know the basic stuff, but as far as the deeper lore and all that, it's not that I don't want to know. I just don't know jack shit about it mostly. So going into the first film, I didn't know what to expect, but I honestly really enjoyed it. Not just for the theater experience, which was great, but thankfully the movie itself I really enjoyed, which I find that funny because the basic moviegoers are the ones that hated it more, where it's the fans that liked it. But I'm the outsider, and I liked it more than most of the people here. So that's kind of an interesting spot I find myself with this fandom. And as far as expectations for this film, I had modest expectations. Like it wasn't one of my most anticipated of the year. It's like cool, I'll watch it. I like the first film enough. I'm invested enough in where this can go. So let's see what they do. And ironically, that all the trailers were nothing burgers. That's probably just me, but I wasn't wowed by the trailers. Not that it lowered my expectations. It's just my expectations were the same, but just not the best trailers to market the movie with. And I watched it last night, and we'll get into it fully later. But for now, I'll just say it was.
Mark?
I mean, my pretty much same as you. I wouldn't really thought the first one was just kind of mediocre. And I mean, it was great for kids, for the ones who liked it. Jack liked it, so that's all that really mattered to me. So, I mean, same thing here. So, I mean, I didn't have really any expectations for this at all. So,
Did you or do you have any knowledge on the games or the lore?
the only thing I know is from Jack. So, I mean, Jack explained some of it to me. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I muted my microphone. So, all right. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and just start off by. All right. So let's go ahead and just start with the positive. So, and I'm going to warn you right now that there's probably not going to be a whole lot. So with this one, which is kind of weird, seeing how this is the first like we've done a rebrand for the cool kids, and yet now is like one where we have very like a lot less positives to talk about. But I mean, I'm not saying there aren't. There certainly are. I will give it that the animatronics they do look really well done. So they resemble the ones from the games. I felt like I was seeing like the old Freddy, the old Bonnie, the old Chica, the toy versions of them. You know, Foxy, Mangle. You know, and even Balloon Boy. They do. I will give it that it does. I'm kind of glad that they pretty much did build like these animatronics instead of just being taking the lazy way out and just doing horrible CGI. I will at least get props. I always get props for practical effects, you know, like where they have to build something instead of just taking the CGI way. And I mean, I will say it does have like a really creepy score. The score was well done. I will say that. I mean, like I said, there's really not a whole lot of positives, but we'll get to if I find any other ones, maybe I'll bring it up. So, but I'll let the rest of you take the floor. So,
So
I mean, I like the way it expanded. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go. Sorry, you went first. Sorry, my bad. I wasn't sure who was going.
No, I mean, I thought we were. No, I mean, I didn't know. I thought we were discussing it. Never mind.
No, that's okay. But for me, I thought I agree with Rob. I thought the animatronics looked fantastic. Like the toy ones look even better than like the old kind of decrepit ones of the first one. Um, um, hashtag Devin confirmed as furry. He wants to fuck Bonnie. But so I thought the animatronics were great. I thought, you know, all the veterans of like the industry were pretty good in this, most of them at least anyway. Matthew Lillard in his small amount of screen time was amazing. Skeet Ulrich in his one scene was fantastic. Like that man gave way too much for this fucking movie. And then I mean, she's not really a veteran, but like McKenna, I mean, she's been around the block for a while. But I thought McKenna Grace was also she's great and everything. Like even like the most like surface level garbage, she's great. And Wayne Knight, how can I forget Wayne Knight? Like the biggest asshole in this movie, and absolutely fantastic. Because whenever you need to get an asshole, you either get Christopher McDonald or Wayne Knight, like one of the two. So, you know, they were all great, even though they had really small scenes. All of them do a very good job. I thought the marionette was very good. Like what they did with like the possessed thing with the makeup. That was like the scariest part of the movie. Like that was like the best part was like seeing McKenna Grace and Piper Rubio in that makeup, and like they looked really properly creepy. Speaking of Piper Rubio, I thought she plays Abby. I thought she was one of the few bright spots of the first one, and she did much even better here. Like she felt like a kid. Like I like how like she like went through this whole thing with these like animatronics, and now she's like kind of feeling like similar things, and I like what they did there. I like some of the lore that's presented. It like matches the games, like the whole animatronic mask, like literally the whole scene with like Josh Hutcherson, Mike, like doing the thing at the computer, like literally just recreating the game. I thought that was kind of, you know, funny. Some of the jokes landed, I think, like that are references to the game, seeing like Corey as the Kenshin as the taxi driver again. I thought that was funny. But I thought, and then having MatPat, even though you couldn't really hear him as Toy Bonnie, I thought that was, you know, funny. Still no Markiplier, guys. The only way I will see a FNAF 3 is if Markiplier is in it. And since he's done with his Iron Lung movie, which is, by the way, coming out January 30th, then he should fucking be in the goddamn third movie. Jesus Christ. Get that man
as
in
much
a
as I
goddamn
love
FNAF
Matthew
movie.
Lillard in these movies, I think he would have made a great William Afton, because I heard the rumor mill was that he was almost gonna be William Afton.
I
No,
don't
no,
know. I'm not sure. I think he
Markiplier.
was
No,
supposed to be the security guard that
yeah,
Mike replaced. I think that was
Markiplier. He was supposed to make a cameo in the first one. He was supposed to play the security guard that gets killed off at the very beginning. You know.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Nice.
but I mean, sorry, I
Yeah.
don't mean to cut you off, but I was going to add
No,
to
you're
that.
good.
I do remember hearing somewhere that Markiplier did address it and said that he never got any kind of notification in being in the sequel. Like he pretty much had to turn a chance for a cameo in the first film down because he's the king of Five Nights at Freddy's. So, but he had to turn it down because he was making his own movie. But then when the sequel came out, he got nothing. He heard
so I think
nothing.
they were probably salty that he had to turn it down for his own movie, which is probably going to be way fucking better than this shit anyway. So, you know, anyway, so in terms of the other positives, which is not very many, you had some creepy scenes here and there. You had some, you know, good lore building stuff. And yeah, that's kind of it in terms of actual positives. So yeah, I mean, some of the acting, some of the lore, and some scary scenes. And the third act was kind of fun. But that's pretty much, and the cameos were good, but yeah, that was pretty much it.
All right, so I'll just address it right now. My positives. Overall, I thought the movie was fine. It was all right. And the reason why I was able to come to that conclusion was that thinking about every plot line in this movie, regardless of execution, the general idea of every plot line with how they're continuing certain arcs and certain characters, I liked them. I liked how they're continuing what's her name's arc, who's Afton's daughter. That was the best stuff in the movie, how she's
Vanessa.
dealing with all that. Yeah, Vanessa, how they're continuing Vanessa's character, that was great, fantastic, the best stuff in the movie. And the flashback scene with her and Matthew Lillard was great. And even the editing in that scene was great with how it would seamlessly go from grown up to then bits with her as a kid. I thought the editing there was great. So, and even the other stuff with Abby's character, how she's missing Freddy and the other animatronics, and now she has that little radio there, how they're calling to her. That was a good way to continue her character, I thought. And even if they didn't do anything with it, really, I thought that the romance they're trying to build up with Vanessa and Josh Hutcherson, I thought that was cute. You know, I felt it was kind of obvious from the first one that they were gonna kind of go that route, so it was cool to see that. And even the plot line, even though it's not like necessary for the film as far as a continuation of the story, I liked all the science fair stuff. I thought it was the funniest stuff in the movie. Like, so, and I think that was actually the best chase scene in the movie as far as the animatronics. Like, I thought that was well lit, another very well edited scene. So that was a lot of fun. And Skeet Ulrich did a really good job in this movie for the one scene that he's in. And I like the lore that they're building up there too, with him being the father of one of the kids that was killed. That was good. But if I'm praising all this right now, and I said that I pretty much like the idea in general of every plot line, why did I think this movie was only okay? We'll get to that.
Also, just want to bring up this comment. I think Garrett Mike's brother is Freddy, but hey, that's just a theory, a game theory. Sorry, I had to do that. Fuck you, I had to do that.
No, you really didn't. You really didn't. Anyway, as for me, the positives were I like the backstory they had at the beginning, you know, with Charlotte and all that, you know, the way it expanded the lore. That was really good. So as John said, the whole thing with the marionette was really well done, very well done. And the way, especially the possessed marionette was funny and all that was really great. Not funny, but I mean, really, really great. Very creepy. So a movie like this is not really trying to be scary. It's more fun than scary, you know. So I mean, it's more geared towards kids and younger audiences anyway. So I mean, but It did have some pretty good, pretty decent atmosphere at some points, such as with the kind of the creepy music box music, around the marionette and everything. Some of it was pretty good. So it was decent, So I mean, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't terrible, I mean, so I mean, yeah, the animatronics were pretty good. The animatronics looked really good. I'll say that. Yeah, that too. I mean, it was, I mean, Jack pointed out, the withered animatronics. So he had the withered animatronics, the originals, and all that. So, I mean, yeah, he knew all of that. So, but yeah, it was. So, I guess that's about it.
Okay. Also, there was one other thing I forgot to mention. I will say that what happens at the end with the original animatronics fighting the toy versions of it, I will say that was really cool. So, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, the original.
That was really cool. So,
that's cool.
All right. And sorry, I'm just looking at the comments. Things are better, but it could be worse. Including the one. Yeah. I gotcha. Not only that, but this is the same year that Until Dawn came out. Ugh.
And I still like this better than Minecraft, so do with that what you will.
Shit. All right. So anyway, so now that we got the positives done, now we're going to be able to go into our mixed. So, and I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot on that. So the biggest thing for me is the fact that the reason I didn't praise a lot of the acting like these guys, because I wanted to talk about this during the mixed. And that's the fact that it's just the fact that a lot of the characters, I mean, with one exception, with some exceptions, like a lot of the new characters, Skeet Ulrich and McKenna Grace, and even like Matthew Lillard. I know he was in the first one, but I mean, they do fine with their performance. The problem is they are so wasted in this movie. They have to market this movie. They have to market this movie up and say, "Hey, we got these new actors in," and yet most of them only get like maybe 5 minutes at most of screen time. Like what was the point of McKenna Grayson being in this movie? Why was she here? She honestly, you could have cut her whole character out and nothing.
I actually have an answer for that.
Okay.
Because McKenna Grace is such a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy's that she literally sent her audition tape in for any role, and she's like, "Put me in this fucking movie because I want to be in it." So they put her in the movie, and that's literally the only reason she is in this movie is because she really, really, really wanted to be in it. And that's
kind of hard. It's kind of hard to be mad at that, then, at least.
I mean, even then, they could have wrote her character in a little bit more, instead of just it being a throwaway cameo. I understand she's a fan. I think honestly, I remember, like, I don't know if anybody else watches Sam and Colby when they did like when they were recently playing some of the Five Nights at Freddy's game, and she was making them do challenges. So, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. The fact is that a lot of these characters pretty much, they don't really have much of a purpose to them. A lot of them are just so wasted. And I feel like they just there was not really much to them. That was the biggest thing for me, was just, like I said, like a lot of some of the acting is fine. It's just that their characters serve absolutely nothing to it. That's pretty much the biggest thing for me. I'm trying to think on what else is there. If like, I think a lot of the other problems I have pretty much I'll get into my negatives. So, because I do have a lot to talk about for the negatives. So, I'll let John go next.
So for me, my mixed is there's quite a few. Unfortunately, there. Okay, where do I start? Because there's quite a few. So, I agree. I do agree with Rob that the mixed was, with like the small roles. At least, I mean, Zach already kind of mentioned this. At least William Afton having a small role makes sense because he's dead. But like McKenna Grace kind of served a point. She served as a point for like the vessel of Charlotte, which is like fine, I guess. But like, that could have been anybody. And then, you also had, Skeet Ulrich was there for a scene. I think they were like, oh, look, it's Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich in a movie again. And that's literally it. And that was like only a selling point, and which is like kind of lame. And then I felt that Josh Hutcherson, well, he didn't give a bad performance. He just seemed so fucking bored in this movie that it was just like, all right, why are you even here? Like, I guess to collect a paycheck, and I guess maybe you're contractually obligated, but even then, it's just like at least try a little bit. Like, Skeet Ulrich gave a better performance in his one scene than Josh Hutcherson did throughout this entire fucking movie. And I like Josh Hutcherson. The dude's a really good actor. And
I think he's really underrated.
He just doesn't care. He's just like, all right, cool, paycheck time, and it's like, all right, okay. So there's that, which was kind of disconcerting a little bit. And then it's honestly it's just kind of boring, which isn't like a bad thing, I guess. It's not like a huge negative. It's just like it just kind of exists. It's just kind of there. I think the pacing was not that great. And I feel like I think there was a lot more like game lore and shit like that was like, okay, that's fine, but I feel like it was there to, like, that whole sequence with Josh Hutcherson. Yeah, was it nice? It was kind of a positive, but at the same time, it's like, it just kind of, hey, like, you could be playing the game right now than watching this shit. And it's just like, yeah, I wish I could be playing the game because it's better. And so, like, again, these things aren't bad. They're just kind of bleh. And so Elizabeth Lale, I'm teetering on whether that's mixed or bad. I don't think she gives an atrociously awful performance. It's just she's so fucking wooden, and she has the charisma of like a wet bag of gravel. So, it's just not it's not like horrid, but it's like again, very, very wooden performance. And it was just one of those things where it was like, I just kind of don't care, and it's just kind of boring. So yeah, that's the kind of like mixed stuff. I do have a couple genuine negatives, so we'll get into that later. But in terms of mixed, it's like some performances, some pacing issues, the boredom, and like the lack of like bite to it, and the lack of like certain actors being in the movie, that it felt pointless to have them.
Okay. Also, just pointing this. What do you guys think of the new? I'm trying to remember what song he means. I'll look it up later. So I'll look it up later. Maybe.
Oh man. You know what's funny, right? Because
We'll do.
we just talked about Wicked for Good not too long ago, and I said that may very likely be the most frustrating movie of the year. This might take it over because, oh my god, because I said that every plot line, even the science fair stuff, I liked. But the problem is with the short runtime this movie has, all of those plot lines, except for maybe Vanessa's, I think that was focused on just enough. Actually, no, it wasn't. Now I'm realizing, like, they all get shortchanged for screen time. This should have been a longer movie. Like, maybe 10. Hell, I'd say 10. An extra 10 minutes is fair. Like, get it around the runtime of the first one, because especially the stuff with Vanessa, my favorite stuff in the movie. Like, the idea is great. Like, this felt like the logical place to take her character, at least for me, but it felt barely explored. And then that leads into the main negative I have with the movie, which we'll get to, but that's about it. And then There's a couple other little personal gripes that I gotta bring up because as much as I do agree is that the movie was heavily mismarketed as a Scream reunion, Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard, which that was, and to me, yeah, it's mismarketing, but it was whatever to me because because they killed it in both in the scenes they had anyway. But my gripe is more so with the fan response to that. That Matthew Lillard isn't in it that much. Why isn't he in this as much? I mean, now I understand that I may very well be sounding ignorant with my response because I'm an outsider to all this shit, but he did die in the last one. Now I don't know if his whole "I always come back" is literal and he actually comes back. I don't know, but he is dead at least like right now. So it's like, were you really expecting anything more than the flashbacks we got? I mean, who knows? When the Blu-ray or something comes out, there could very well be a gazillion deleted scenes with him. Then sure, then your arguments will be valid. But for now, it's like he is dead. But that's just me. So yeah.
Mark?
Mixed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess the plot was kind of meandering because I mean parts of it were interesting, but I mean it was kind of meandering. So I mean most of it's kind of either it was good or it was bad. So I mean mixed. I mean I guess. So I mean yeah. So, I mean I'm just going to say most of mine for the negative. There's not much to say here.
I got you.
Fair.
Yeah, that's very fair. But I do, and I will add on to what you were saying about like with Vanessa and all. I feel like she was given way too much screen time. You know, where it seemed like she might as well have been the main character. That's something else I probably should have mentioned. So,
Hell, I actually kind of welcomed it because again, she was the most fascinating character to me. Like she had the most fascinating arc.
All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started with with our negatives. So, oh my God! First of all, the dialogue is so bad in this. Oh my God! I don't know if anyone else noticed. I don't know if this was just a me thing, but the dialogue was just like it was just so like either it was so wooden or just so cringy. Oh my God, you know. It was just, so have you been controlling those dreams of yours? It's like, what? Who? And I'm going to say this right now. And people, and maybe, I don't know if I'm going to be roasted by a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's fans in the chat, but Scott Cawthon, he is not a good writer. He is not a good writer. I'll give him that he can make fun gameplay styles. He has interesting ideas for lore.
But in
terms of writing movies, he's not good at it. He's not good at it. He wasn't good at it in the first one, and he's not good at it here. So I'm just going to say that right now. And then I'm going to bring this up from it's something that John already brought up. Josh Hutcherson's acting. Like I said that some of the acting was fine. The exceptions are Josh Hutcherson and the chick that played Vanessa. They were so bad. I think Vanessa's acting was just so wooden, you know. I just couldn't buy it. I mean, granted, she was wooden the first one too, and Josh Hutcherson sounded so bored to be here. He did not give a shit about being in this movie. He did not care one bit. All he cared about was getting his paycheck and going home. You know, that's the only thing. And I guess you could say another negative was the fact that this is kind of maybe just a small thing, but I mean, this kind of goes without saying. I didn't find this movie to be scary. So I just didn't find it to be scary at all. I understand Mark saying, like, it's pretty much meant to be more like a fun experience rather than a scary experience. But when you heavily market this as like a horror movie, then I just didn't find
And
it really.
plus,
I'm
sorry
go
to
on.
cut you off, but plus, yes, I do agree. I understand what Mark is saying. However, enter Nightmare Before Christmas and Paranorman. Those are actually scary, and those are even made more so for kids.
Yeah.
Just
Fair, but I mean, yeah, I mean, even with these, even the games are just.
I
forever,
understand. It's
you know?
it's all different points of view.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. It's just I get
I
both
get it.
points of view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. But I mean, wait, is my turn now or what?
Well,
Sorry,
I mean,
I cut off Rob. Sorry about that.
Go
no,
ahead.
it's all right. It's all right. But anyway, as I was saying, like the acting, some of the acting, especially from Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson did not give a shit about being in this movie. He did not give a shit about his performance. And I like Josh Hutcherson. He actually can perform a good performance, you know. But he honestly did not care one way or
Bridge to
another.
Terabithia.
It kind of reminds me so much of Zac Efron from the shitty Firestarter remake, because when you have a good actor who you know can pull off a good performance, and the script is terrible, you know that they could care less and just obviously just want their damn paycheck. So, and like I said, Vanessa wasn't any better. And I hated how she had a lot more focus on it. I mean, like I said, she might as well have been the main character in this, taken away. And like I said, the dialogue was awful. It's just, and the writing was just not good. So it's like, and like I said, I didn't find it really that scary. So it's just, I mean, I honestly see these movies more as fans of the games and fans of the lore, rather than like the comment, like any critic that actually wants like a good story, good characters, you know, those kinds of things. But I honestly, it's just there was a lot that weighed it down. In fact, I would say that this probably there might have been more flaws in here than there were in the first one. So but that's just me. I won't hog up the spotlight. I'll let others take over. So John.
So for me, in terms of negatives, I think I agree with Mark, although I think it's more of a negative than a mixed, is the meandering plot. I guess I can reiterate the boredom here, because sometimes it was really fucking boring. It's like, why are we watching these people on a date? I want to see animatronic action. Like, at least give me that in a fucking movie about animatronics killing people. And even then, it was kind of disappointing. So, you know, I just kind of didn't really care. I know I kind of reiterated that, but like, it was terribly written. I respect the fact that they want to bring Scott Cawthon, who's the designer of these games, into this, and like respect his vision by writing the stuff that he originally wrote so long ago. And so with that, it just doesn't, I respect it, but it's just like, it's also, he's just not very good at writing. He's not a good writer. You need to bring in another writer to like punch this shit up, because this is just not good. It's not well written. It's very poorly written, and that's, I think, the reason why the pacing was so off. But it also didn't help that the editing was so fucking choppy. Like, it felt like just like so jagged and so choppy that I had trouble like watching it, because it felt like so like it just felt like, oh, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here. It's just like, whoa, okay, like, what are we doing now? And it juggled so many plots and subplots that it just felt a bit much. And it was just not good. The narrative was just terrible. And I think I'm just like, Five Nights at Freddy's is just one of those things that doesn't work as a movie. Like, it just doesn't. Like, it would work maybe as like a cute short film. Like, oh, the guy is going through like maybe like a series of short films or like YouTube sketches at the very most. This doesn't work as a film, because it's purely like at least the first game and pretty much almost all games is like a guy sitting in a chair watching stuff and scary things come at you. That doesn't really work as a movie narrative, even with all the like attached lore that they have now. It's just like you do have all this lore, and then you're inventing this new narrative that's not interesting and terribly written, and it's just weird how you're like trying to do all of this. You're trying to respect the games, you're trying to do something new for the movies, and it just nothing works, and it's just a very not well written like movie, and it feels weird and awkward, and it just like as a movie it just doesn't work. It's not an enjoyable experience, and I know that like a lot of fans I've known both where like there were fucking like I was like watching the movie and I was kind of going back and forth between you guys and some other people there that I was like just mentioning like, oh, this thing happens, and they're like, fuck you, this is peak, it's like, okay, like no. And it just felt so like I just felt like the old man in the room. Like I felt like, Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino, just like, get off my lawn, I'm gonna watch
If
actual
those
peak
people think
shit.
that this is peak video game movie, looks like someone needs to see the Sonic trilogy.
Yeah.
Today.
Or like literally
Exactly.
fucking the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s is better than this shit. So, it just
At least I was gonna say at least that one's a lot more quotable and memorable. Even
yeah,
you know?
I just like overall it's just
Monkey!
like the fundamental
Then you
aspect
are
of like this
correct.
movie is like the bottom barrel of like the blueprint of this movie just doesn't work because the writer is not good, and he's not good at writing movies.
Yeah,
You need to bring somebody else in who knows. You don't even need to bring a great screenwriter, just like someone who could punch this shit up, like a script doctor, essentially. You don't even need to bring in like a full-fledged writer. Just bring a script doctor in and just get them to just like make this shit work. And so that's the biggest negative for me. And some things transcend negativity, like, like some performances, the boredom and all that shit. It just, it fundamentally just does not work for me. It's not interesting. Some of the humor was kind of cringy too. And it's just like as a movie, it just doesn't work. Like there's only so much I can like watch to be like, okay, I can forgive this, I can forgive that. But for the most part, it was just not a good experience from majority of it. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
Because it's funny with the dialogue, because the dialogue itself didn't necessarily bother me unless it was just when it just felt like catchphrases, like someone in the chat brought up, just like it felt like a lot of it was like catchphrases from the games, and like certain bits felt like it, but overall the dialogue wasn't a problem for me. And I got to bring this up because it's something that's bugged me, and I bring it up now because this is the same way that I feel about the Minecraft movie, and that's a movie I got a lot of problems with too. But I hear a lot of reviews saying that that they're using it's for the fans as an excuse for all this terrible writing. And I'm like, now here's how I think of it. I believe same thing with the Minecraft movie, that they are generally trying to make something for the fans. Totally believe that. They definitely have the fans in mind when they're making these movies. But at the same time, that's still not an excuse for all the flaws of these movies. But yeah, I just want to bring it up because my main negative with this movie is I fucking hated the ending. Not so much like the final act with Afton's son coming in. Like, what I mean is the final frame this movie ends on. I'm talking about before the credit scene, by the way. The final frame with Vanessa being possessed by the I assume it's the marionette one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I hate that as an ending. That's totally cool. My issue with it is that because her whole arc in this movie, which again I said I loved with what we got, it's the best stuff in the movie. because the fact that as well as all the other plot lines in this movie felt barely explored because they're all competing for screen time, and because we didn't get enough with Vanessa's arc, fighting her demons and all that, try not to be like her father. It didn't make that ending feel as earned to me. If there was more runtime committed to this movie to give all the plot lines more time to breathe, I could totally see myself being satisfied with this ending. Like, cool. I can't wait to see where this goes. Like, because I care about Vanessa's character. But again, the problem is how much screen time was committed to each thing in this movie, if that makes any sense. So that's pretty much my big thing, was just the ending. Just didn't feel earned. I'll still see the third movie just to see what happens because, again, I care. I suppose I care just enough. But, yeah, there's a lot of problems they got to fix. I do agree with y'all.
All right. I'll before we get to Mark, I was just going to bring up some things. Wah wah. And yes, it does have the grief monster, kind of thing. Yes, it does have that. So, unfortunately. All right.
I don't get how he hates that, but whatever. That's just me.
All right, Mark.
Well, I mean, Josh Hutcherson's acting was he just kind of phoned it in. I mean, like I said, Vanessa, girl playing Vanessa, dear God, I mean, yeah, she was bad. I mean, Zach, I get that you like the character. I mean, you can like the character all you want, but the actress was just piss poor. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't even see why you would like the character in this because, I mean, she just. What was her point in even being in this? Dear God, I mean, like their romance was just a distraction from the plot. I mean, that was one of the most worst, poorly done romances I've ever seen. I mean, the whole thing at the end with him saying, "Oh, you lied to me because you didn't tell me about your psychotic brother." I mean, dude, you went out with her and wouldn't even call it a date. She's not your fucking girlfriend. She doesn't know you're her fucking life story. I mean, what the fuck is that about? I mean, it's like it was just a really poorly written story. I mean, there were some good ideas there, I mean, there were some good ideas there, but they're just poorly developed. So it was, like I said, it was very meandering, kind of all over the place, kind of. It does not have to be a more poorly done romance than that, Zach. Something being worse does not mean that that's not fucking shitty. That's a poor argument. That's a piss poor argument.
I'm just playing around. I had to go there.
I'm not. Yeah, actually, kind of, yeah. I mean, at least that's trying something. I mean, yeah, it kind of was a worse romance than that. But I mean, but anyway, yeah. I mean, there were some fun moments in there. I like the kid. The kid was great. The kid was charismatic and everything. She was great. I mean, hey, they should have kept the screen on her. I mean, that's it. So, I mean, yeah, it was just, there's a lot holding it back. Basically, the writing was just really poor. So, I mean, he could have used like John said, I mean, just doesn't he have to be a great screenwriter, a competent screenwriter, somebody who has,
or just someone who actually writes fucking movies for a living. Get fucking Frank Darabont on this. He's a script doctor. Just fucking get him on this. Punch up this script, and if he can fucking do Stranger Things,
yeah,
he can fucking do anything. All right, yeah. He is. If he's not good enough, if he's not too good for Stranger Things, he's not too good for FNAF 2. Okay, yeah. So just get him on here, punch this shit up, and make it actually fucking competent. Jesus Christ.
Agreed.
Okay. Also, anyway. I want to point something out. I really feel like I'm not among. I feel really bad for any Balloon Boy fans there were, because the Balloon Boy was on screen was only made for a cheap jump scare, and that's it. So,
I
I
mean,
feel-
to be fair,
that's
this entire
right.
franchise is literally built upon cheap jump scares, Rob.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I
know
get
what you
that.
mean.
I mean,
I know what you mean, though.
yeah, I get that. It's just like he's a throwaway animatronic that, you know. That's just what I was trying to get at.
No,
so.
I get what you're saying.
All right. And who do you think the Marriott is? The reason Vanessa is? And
Wouldn't know. I don't know about the
don't know.
lore. I just know that as the movie goes, it could have been a great ending with her being possessed if there was more screen time with her arc. Is my issue.
That's the point. There was no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just felt like a distraction from what should have been the plot. I mean,
Yeah.
So.
What was your guys' favorite animatronic scene in the movie? Because for me, it was when the Wayne Knight got killed. That was cool.
That was
pretty cool.
that was. I'll give you that one though.
Who doesn't want
Watching-
to kill Wayne Knight?
Watching Wayne Knight.
I
mean-
know Jerry Seinfeld does.
Yeah.
Wayne
all
Knight.
he had
Wayne
to
Knight
do
playing an
was
asshole,
tell Chica
getting
that-
axed off.
I mean, after all, Wayne Knight's a good publicist. He could have made Chica big. He could
Wayne
have made a
Knight.
publicist.
Wayne Knight.
I can make
Yeah,
it big.
Wayne Knight here. I wouldn't think the movie is that bad because there are other movies that actually piss me off. Yeah, I don't think it's horrible. Really, it's not horrible. It's just
I don't
mediocre.
either.
Yeah, it's just mediocre. I don't think it's horrible. It's just mediocre. I mean, because my thing is, I guess I have a different perspective because I was with Jack and Jack liked it. I mean, yeah.
And
So
it's the same. It's the same because I know Kane liked it too. So, but then again, Kane is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. So
yeah, I mean, exactly. Like Jack told me he's played the first game, but he watched the Markiplier videos with the other game. So that's how he knows about the other games too.
Oh, and I gotta ask because what was the post-credit scene, by the way? Because I went in knowing
It,
there was a
Springtrap.
post-credit scene.
Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
Oh, so I guess they are bringing back Afton. Then I guess that brings my whole argument from earlier out the window. Then
Yes,
okay.
So Springtrap is going to be in the next one. So because you do see like the ruins of like the pizzeria, and then you see people like taking like pieces of animatronics because the third game is supposed to take place after. According to the timeline, it takes place after the events of like a lot of the other Five Nights at Freddy's games, and because they make like a horror attraction out of it, because that's what the third one is based on, and the only animatronic they did find was Springtrap.
And like Jack said, the timeline is so fucked up that nobody can tell. Because I asked him, said, Jack, your job on the way there is to tell me all about FNAF lore. He's like, no. I'm like, why, Jack? You know all of it. He's like, no, Dad. Like literally nobody can. That timeline is so fucked up. Nobody.
It literally feeds into the point that Scott Cawthon is not a good writer. That's like the whole point.
I guess I will say though to all the hardcore fans watching,
what we've gotten is good. But even then, like the stuff he's written is so like all over the place, and like Matt Pat had to do like 16 different videos about FNAF lore to make at least a little bit of sense of it. Now it's just like a big, as a great man once said, a big ball of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. That's essentially FNAF lore.
Jay, to answer your question, I honestly don't think Abby really gives a shit because Mr. Burke was pretty much an asshole to her.
I mean, I think she probably. I mean, of course, she figured it out. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I'm sure pretty much they found out Mr. Burke was killed. I mean, so somebody would have had to go back to the classroom and found him. I mean, jeez. So yeah, but
again, if there was a longer runtime for this movie, that's something they could have elaborated on.
I mean, hey, if you like the, I mean, that's my thing too. Really, I mean, honestly, I mean, the fans like it. So, I mean, if you're a fan of FNAF, then you're probably going to like the movie. So I mean, have fun with it.
I mean, either. Oh wait, let me pull this up. Sorry, did you know that?
I mean, I imagine she'd have to put 2 and 2 together.
I would think so because Abby's a smart kid. So
Yeah.
Voiced
like
by Megan Fox, by
honestly,
the way.
I will say this: Abby, like a lot of her character, honestly, kind of reminded me a lot of Kane. You know, because Kane is he just started high school. He's and Five Nights at Freddy's is actually one of the things that got him excited for like robotics. You know, that's pretty much piqued his interest in robotics was Five Nights at Freddy's. So
Makes
so
sense.
it just reminds me so much.
Respect.
Yeah. And so do we have anything else we want to add before we get to final
I
verdict?
guess I'll say that if that's what they're setting up, then to all the horrorcore fans watching this, then I guess that sort of throws my argument out the window. But I think it still applies to this movie because again, he was dead for this story. So
Mm-hmm. I will say this movie is easily going to make bank. So
Yes,
I don't know.
It's,
I don't
it's
know
actually like dethrone Zootopia 2 as number 1 at the box office.
Yeah,
Damn.
my theater was packed.
My theater was packed. Like I think honestly, most of the people in that theater, like it was just like everyone was just like having a good time and things like that. You know.
Yeah.
damn it.
So-
So much for Zootopia 2 getting $1 billion then.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's making a shit ton overseas. That's where it's going to get its most of its money. Because it's like 170. Last time I checked, it was around 200 million in the States domestically, which is still a lot. But overseas, it's almost at 500 million. So this is gonna hit big overseas. So you don't worry, it's gonna hit $1 billion. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Even if it's at number 2, it's still a lot. So you're good.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
I guess.
I don't.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
it
go
was
on.
to be expected though, at least because I mean, the first film debuted number 1 at the box office. So
I mean, yeah, like I said, these movies are going to be a success no matter what the critical score is. Pretty much critics can say that this is that the movie is worse than Cancer, and it will still make a lot of money.
Yep.
So,
it does sort of worry me though for the third film, just because of how bad the reviews for this one have been. That it could affect the box office for the next one. I wouldn't be surprised if the third film they go the Peacock and theater route again. Just cause.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Let me go ahead and all right, might as well go and wrap it up before. So let's move on to final verdict and grade. So while I will admire some of the technical aspects, this movie is like I wasn't really big on the first one, and I feel like this is a step back even further. So I feel like this on it, like with the bad writing, the bad dialogue, some terrible acting, and wasted characters. I just feel like this was pretty much just a bit of a step down. I could appreciate the technical aspects, like how the animatronics look and how it's more accurate to the games. It's respect to the lore, it's respect to the games. I forgot to mention about the mask, like where they were trying to recreate the gameplay style from the second Five Nights at Freddy's game, with putting the mask on. Which, by the way, when I played the second one, honestly, the reason why I could never get past the third night is because I was never fast enough to put the mask on. But I mean, I'm getting off topic. So I just feel like this is just a movie that, if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan and you like the first one, then I feel like you'll pretty much enjoy this one just as much. However, if you're a movie if you didn't like the first one all that much, and you want something like with good characters, good story, good writing, things like that, this is not gonna turn you over. This is not gonna win you over. In fact, I feel like it probably would turn you away even more. So unfortunately, with that, I honestly have to give this a 4 out of 10. So,
Mm.
John, you're next.
So I will say this. Gotta get this out before I have my real final thoughts. But if I had a nickel for every A Nightmare on Elm Street ripoff and a sequel of a horror franchise that featured an actor from Regarding You and was produced by Blumhouse in 2025, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. So, with all of that, I think that this had some decent ideas, decent lore, really good acting, respectability to the franchise and all that. But for the most part, it inevitably falls flat. Some of the acting was also not very good, mainly from Josh Hutcherson and Elizabeth Lale. They were either just wooden or boring or both. The writing was not good at all. Scott Cawthon is not a good writer, and these movies just prove that. And it was paced poorly. The editing was not very good. But it did kind of it's saved from it's there. The third act was fun. The animatronics are always great to look at and see, and they did a great job with those. But that doesn't save this from being like a mid movie. I enjoyed some things about it, but for the most part, it's just mid. And with that, I have to probably give it like a 5.5 out of 10. I'll be nice. I'll give it like an extra half point because of the respectability to the franchise and the animatronics, but I'll give it like a 5.5 out of 10. But I will say this: Iron Lung, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 and its spin-off, they can't come soon enough. So with that,
same could be
we're
said
gonna
for
move
Legend
on
of
to the next
Zelda.
one.
First off, Willie Dog, I fucking love Halloween Ends, so you couldn't be more wrong about that. Just kidding. But bro, final thoughts. This is a movie where I don't have issues with it because of the plot. As I said before, I actually liked every plot line just for general entertainment value, and with some of them, even how they chose to continue the characters. But my issue was the pacing, the short runtime, which as a result left every single plot line shortchanged and competing for screen time. I think if you had a longer runtime, this could have worked a little bit better. Maybe I would have liked it as much as the first one. But as is, I thought it was fine. It's watchable enough. It's not a movie I would never watch again, especially if I'm rewatching the movies to lead up to new FNAF movies. I'll totally watch this. But as is, the final result we got is messy and sloppily executed, unfortunately. So I could easily see this overtaking Wicked for Good as my most disappointing, frustrating movie of the year. So, but again, because I did like the idea of every plot line and character arc, I will be nice and give it a 6 out of 10. I didn't hate what they tried here. It just needed to be longer, is pretty much it.
For me, it's mid, much like the first. Decent lore, poor writing. Kid is great. Again, poor acting, but so showed some promise if they could get somebody in to polish it up. But I mean, as it is, it's mid, 5 out of 10. So, yeah.
Man, we all really gave this movie the bite of 87.
So, how about those Jets?
They suck. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, they do suck.
Worse than
They
the
do.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But I forgot to ask this before. Like, I'm just curious, but like, did any of you like have you guys ever watched, like, I know Mark has maybe a little bit, like, watched a Markiplier's Let's Play of the FNAF games or something?
Nope. Never watched
Nope.
them.
Never watched them.
I dabbled into them, but I started dabbling in them too late because when I did was like hours before I was going to go see the first one, so I was hardly able to enjoy. I was hardly able to finish one of his videos. So, yeah. But I just
Yeah,
gotta say,
I would say I would. Oh, sorry, go on.
I've actually never seen him, but Jack just saw him. Jack used to watch the videos,
Yeah.
and Jack has seen them, but I mean, I never.
Yeah, honestly, when I first heard about Five Nights at Freddy's, I remember a friend telling me about it, and then I remember like looking it up. And one of the first Let's Plays I watched was Markiplier, you know. And I will say, like, a lot of his funny, a lot of his, like, there were a lot of funny moments from like those Let's Plays, you know. Especially the like, I would say my favorite one is like the ones from 3, you know. It's 4 a.m. Hey, come in. We'll have a nice tea party, and then he can go fuck himself. maybe I'll send you guys the link.
you know, it's a funny story, just like a little story about my theater experience with the first one, was when the chick got bitten in half by, I think it was the Freddy robot.
Mhm.
And I was just because this is a reference I know. I was about to shout this out, but someone else in the crowd beat me to it. I was gonna be, was that the bite of 87?
All right, but anyway, I'm just trying to think here. Do we have anything else to say about
Nope,
say about
it
this?
sucked. Don't watch it unless you're a super fan. Then go watch it.
Or go see it and support theaters anyway, especially
Yeah.
given recent developments.
Okay. So, since we pretty much had this guy pretty much out of the stream for the majority of the stream, we might as well go ahead and bring him back. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, before we do that, let me see. Favorite FNAF game. I guess the first one, but then again, that's probably because that's the only one that I was able to beat all 5 nights in.
The only one I played, I
Um,
think, was the first one. I'm not even sure. I'm pretty sure I played the first
How
one.
far did you say you got to that one again?
I think maybe night 3 or night 4. I don't even remember.
Okay.
I think I probably like played it once and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not for me.
I mean, honestly, I've noticed a pattern you could pretty much be able to use. So, you know, I don't think so. I guess that was pretty much what got me. It's just when it got to the bonus 6 night, it's just I couldn't get to that. I couldn't finish that because I got crazy.
I couldn't say honestly because I haven't played any of them, but I don't know. I guess by default the first one, because that's the one I've just happened to have seen the most videos about. Like I've watched Blasphemous HD's Let's Plays of them. Some of the funniest shit.
Yeah, I gotcha. And yes, I know. Yes, Devin, I know you want to fuck Bonnie. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I could never make it past the second night because Bonnie kept killing me. It was so annoying.
And, I mean, there's a pattern. There's a pattern you can pretty much do.
It's always Bonnie.
Well, I mean, the mistake that most people make is just they seem to try to keep track on where the animatronics are. The best strategy is try to just focus on the stage, Pirate Cove, and then check the hallway lights, and that's it. So, because Bonnie always comes from the left side, Chico always comes from the right. So you can always, as long as you know that pattern, it's not really, I don't think it's that difficult. So, but that's just me speaking. All right. Anyway, let me see. I'm sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, can I give my thoughts on Zootopia 2?
Yeah, go ahead and give your thoughts.
Great movie. It was on par with the first one. Had a great time with it.
Okay, awesome.
One of us.
All right, so that about wraps it up for our review. Zach, do you want to announce the next review?
Oh boy. We will once again be visited by everyone's favorite actor, Rowan Campbell, for our review of the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. Aren't y'all excited?
I am.
I'm gonna have to do my homework because I don't know shit about this franchise. So
all you got to do is you just got to watch just watch the original because this is gonna be a remake anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the original. I don't feel like having to watch the. I don't know how many. I
Dude,
don't
the
know how many
sequels are
films
the
there are.
sequels are garbage. I would
And
also watch
the last 3 have nothing to do with the franchise. They're literally scripts that were made that had no connection to Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then they're like, might as well make them a Silent Night, Deadly Night, kind of like most of the Hellraiser sequels.
Yep.
I mean,
I would even recommend the 2012 reboot that was just called Silent Night. That was
thank you.
No, that one's
was-
garbage. Don't watch that.
Yes, it was good.
It's a load of
It
ass
was good.
garbage. Don't fucking watch it.
In fact,
All right.
I mean, I'm excited for this new one because you got to keep in mind, I'm not a fan of the first one. It's fine, but it's not. It's no Black Christmas.
Cinematic Sterling. Excited for a movie that has the guy who beat Michael Myers' ass. Holy
I don't
shit.
hate the guy.
I know. I'm just fucking around. Like, yep. As we always say here at the Cool Kids, hate the character, not the actor.
Very
Unless
much.
the actor is a piece of shit. But like Rowan
Yeah,
Campbell
unless
is
you're
a piece
Ezra
of
Miller,
shit.
then fuck him.
Yeah, if
Fuck
it's
'em.
Ezra Miller or Amber Heard,
Asia
Then-
Argento.
Yep. Unless
Yep.
it's one of those, then fuck him.
Kevin Spacey.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, so that will be our next review. Would be the Silent Night, Deadly Night. Thank you all for watching. Remember to support your local theaters.
Especially now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And especially now. And always remember. What the?
Up.
What's going on? Are you guys doing this? What's going on?
No.
Oh shit! Oh
I
god!
got a pen. I'm not afraid to use it.
Oh no!
Ow.
Well, shit.
Once again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.